Sam Golbach. Holy crap. So you made a video about a month ago about me, titled probably the same thing I have this titled, a video to my future best friend. And I just want to say thank you so much really quick, because that video actually meant a lot to me, and I'm definitely going to be watching it multiple times in the future. Super cool thing for you to do, and honestly, I just kind of wanted to make a response to that, and also a video to you so that future you, whether it's in 5 years, you're 45, or 80 about to die on the deathbed, can like look back and watch this video and be like, oh, heck yeah. But like you said in your video, really quick, I want to tell all the fans and the viewers watching that I'm making this video solely for Sam Golbach, my future best friend and my best friend today. So a lot of the stories or the things I say in this video might not make sense to you guys, but Sam, you and I both know what we're talking about. Oh, and by the way, I have the fan pointed at me right now, so if you hear that, that's why. It's a sauna in our house. Our air conditioning's been broke for what, like 5 months now? So yeah, there you go. You can look back on those great times. But like I said previously, I obviously saw your video and it really meant a lot to me. And I really want you to feel the same way where you watch my video and you're able to reflect and remember all the old great times that we had and will still have, because you live right next to me, and this is only the beginning, we know that. But Sam, I just basically wanted to do the same thing as you and make a video that we could both look back on when we're older and be like, wow, we really did destroy life, didn't we? Kind of like your video, I want to talk about the real stuff rather than what everybody else can see on social media, just because most of our friendship in general happens off camera, and that's the real stuff. But I wanted to start with my first impression of you in middle school. I remember we would win these awards called Panther Paws every single week, and our entire grade would come sit in this small room, and like 5 people would win a Panther Paw for being a great student or whatever. And I remember sitting down and just not really giving a crap about why I was there. Mrs. Barch saying, the first Panther Paw award goes to Sam Golbach. And like not really thinking about it, I just looked up and I saw you had that Macaulay Culkin haircut where you pushed it back, and it was great. And that was my first impression of you. I was just like, okay, it's Sam Golbach, maybe his hair's cool, whatever. But I remember you telling me multiple times in middle school how you remembered Carson Funk and I being stupid in front of Mr. Aubrey, standing on the chairs, us getting in trouble with Pernob and everything like that. I feel like we basically had this really strange first impression of one another because we went to school for so long, but we never actually talked. We kind of just were in the same class all the time. Hey, that's okay. We were both really shy kids, and we didn't really know how to talk to anybody. So, but then we both graduated middle school, moved on to high school, and a lot of people quit band. Since I played clarinet, you played alto saxophone. We were both in the wind section, and therefore would see each other at band camp and rehearsal every single day. I'm not really sure the first things we said to each other, but I do remember that we connected a lot right when we first started talking. We immediately just kind of clicked and knew we were gonna be friends. I think you kind of noticed that I was interested in the drum major like you were, so you were just like, oh wow, this kid has some good taste in females. He's gonna be an awesome dude. Totally kidding. But I do remember a few days of us sitting on the band camp curb just talking about how attractive we thought Mary Morrison was and how we just wanted to find the guts to talk to this girl. So in our freshman year with band camp and all that stuff going on, I remember the first time that we ever hung out was Halloween night, maybe 2012, could be wrong, freshman year. And I think I dressed up like a banana and you were a greaser or something like that. And we ran around, just you and I, with big pillowcases, grabbing all the candy, and it was the first time we ever hung out. It was awesome. After that experience right there of us running around being stupid, I knew that we were gonna be friends for a really long time from that moment. I was just in general happy to meet somebody that I could connect with so well. So after the Halloween night, I remember you inviting me to go hang out with the group, as we called it, with Alex and Nate and all of them in the clubhouse. And that's kind of when our crazy adventures started happening freshman year. All the abandoned warehouse stuff, climbing on top of middle schools, hanging tape across the street lights, stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, all the crazy things we did. And because you were so nice to welcome me into your friend group with open arms, I felt like I had a place where I belonged, and you guys all love to adventure and stuff like that, and I didn't know anybody at the time who loved to adventure and do stupid stuff like that. It was just great overall because the adrenaline rush that came with it, and like the excitement of just being 14 and having such weird angst against the world, it was just all awesome. But let me remind you that we weren't like all the other kids when we were 14. I remember you and I, we would do this crazy stuff that put ourselves out of our comfort zones, but then we would talk about it. And I remember one of the main deep conversations we would always have was all wrapped around the stupid phrase YOLO. You only live once and you might as well live life to the fullest. The reason I feel like we kind of rebelled towards society a lot is because we had that YOLO, adrenaline rushy mindset that I don't think a lot of kids had at our age. And along with that, you and I would just get into these deep conversations about life, where we could be in your basement for hours talking about a specific thing, or asking ourselves why we were here or why we were the way we were. And I just remember always being on a super deep connection with you that I didn't have with anybody else. It was nuts. So like I said, oh shoot, I just kicked the crap out of that. With all the philosophical deep talks and us doing crazy stuff like that, I feel like you and I just knew we were going to be friends because we were so alike in that way. Do you remember our sophomore year going to BOA? We get out of the tour bus, everybody goes into the hotel, and then you and I just start sprinting towards the arch. I cannot tell you how alive that moment right there made me feel, where you and I were standing at the arch as 14, 15-year-olds being like, the world is ours, look what we're doing right now. We've done so much crazy crap in the future that moment right there might not seem as great as it was, but I hope to God that you remember the feeling that you and I both had when we were standing under that arch saying, the world is ours, what are we doing right now? Like, this is all crazy. And I don't think it was what we did that mattered so much, but our mindset behind everything, being like, wow, the world is ours, we can accomplish anything. And we truly believed that. So that's just one of many examples or stories of the crazy things that we did freshman, sophomore year. But I want to take it back to Mary Morris. Like you were saying in your video, you and I connected mostly over this girl. A lot of the deep talks that we had revolved around the subject of why can't we talk to this girl? I remember we just couldn't figure it out. We wanted so badly to break out of our shy shell so that we were able to talk to people without feeling super nervous or even crying. And I think that's kind of when I mentioned that we should go to the mall and try to talk to girls just for fun and see what happened. But I just want you to know now that I only said that we should go to the mall because I was trying to impress you in a way. I just wanted to show you that I had the balls to do it and that you should too. And I feel like you and I both pushing each other to step out of our comfort zones was really what made us do it. Anyways, we got to the mall, and I'm sure you remember this, but we failed so miserably when talking to people. I remember the first group of girls we went up and talked to, we were just like, hey, what's up? And they didn't even look at us, they just walked away, and we were just like, ah. I think the fun part about meeting people at the mall was the interactions that you and I would have and the experience that you and I would make rather than actually talking to that specific person. And then, you know, I found Simple Pickup, I showed you them in your basement. We went back to the mall trying to use what they were teaching in real life. But I want to let you know that I don't think there would be anybody else at that time that would be willing to go to the mall every single weekend to try to better ourselves in that way. You were literally the only person who I could see saying, yes, let's go back every single weekend to practice and get better at talking to people. But because you had that mindset right there of let's do this, I feel like that's why we changed so much. And so like I said, going and using the Simple Pickup tips and talking to people and getting better with confidence, we got better. We definitely improved our confidence and learned how to talk to people. That alone right there is absolutely insane. To go from two band kids who literally cried at the thought of talking to girls to being able to go to the mall, talk to a complete stranger without any fear whatsoever, and be able to step out of your comfort zone with such confidence. It was incredible. That is absolutely just insane and incredible for a 15-year-old to do. And I hope you remember that a lot of our family members, and especially our friends, did not understand what we were doing. They actually thought it was weird that we were going to the mall all the time, and we would get made fun of all the time for that. They didn't understand that we were just trying to step out of our comfort zone so that we could learn how to be confident and not have to be the shy people that we were. Let me remind you of the moment where you and I were standing in the middle of that escalator going up Oak Park Mall with the group here and the group here, and you and I just looking at each other being like, heck yeah, dude, we freaking did it. That was the first moment where I looked at you and was just like, We bouses, brother. All of our friends were getting their first kiss at like 8th grade, 7th grade. You probably even had it early too. But me, I was late in our friend group for not having the first kiss. But the Peach Wave night where I got my first kiss and you were winging me with 2 twins was probably top 10 of my favorite nights / moments ever. When after hanging out with them, you and I just ran to the side of Peach Wave and just said 3, 2, 1, yeah! Like I'm saying, looking back at it now, it seems silly and stupid, but that emotion in that moment right there when we were just like, yes, holy crap, we did it, dude. We have officially changed, like this is insane. It's something that I will never ever forget, and just want to say thank you so much for being that person I could share that experience with. We got our confidence, we knew how to talk to anybody, we had our deep conversations all the time, we were doing stupid stuff throughout high school. And then I remember when one of our deep talks got super deep, when I mentioned to you, if you only live once, why not try to become well known? Why not try to become famous? If we only have one shot in this world, why not live life to the fullest? And that was also around the time where I was watching JC Kalen on YouTube. I just had like learned about all the Madcom boys and their lives and stuff like that. And I just remember sitting in my room with you and being like, dude, let's get famous. And to be honest, there was zero doubt in my mind that you wouldn't be 100% ready to take on that challenge and we would actually do it. And guess what? Look where we're at now, dude. How crazy is that? What's absolutely insane about this, which I don't think a lot of people know, is that this was a plan. This was all strategy. This was all a plan from the beginning. It's not like you and I just grabbed our cameras and started filming random Vine and then they just blew up or whatever. I hope that you remember that you and I literally printed out these posters that said, follow Sam and Colby on Vine, and went around our entire school, our entire city, and all the popular places in our metro area just so we could promote our Vine account. We were so dedicated and didn't care what anybody else thought that we were willing to put posters of ourselves up at our school as junior kids. Like, what the heck? But dude, I feel like that's why we're here today, is because we didn't care and we took those chances and just said, screw it, like why not? We started doing Vines all the time, crazy stuff in the mall, jumping off tables, you know the whole thing. And you had the incredible idea of following fat people, which we filmed so many times and tried to perfect and pull off for a week until we were happy with it, posted it, and the next day woke up with over 10,000 followers. Do you remember about 3-4 days after we posted following fat people, being on the phone together? Oh my gosh, Milk just retweeted following fat people. This is gonna be insane. And at the time on our Vine account, following fat people only had like 500 likes. And then you and I showing up to school the next day with everybody just looking at us like, what are you guys doing? What is happening? And yeah, man, a lot of people at our school didn't understand. A lot of our friends didn't get what we were doing, and even some family members of ours didn't support or understand what we were doing. But because we had each other and we were in that mindset of we don't give a crap, let's do anything and everything we can to reach our goal, we did it. And we made it, and that is incredible. Freshman year, 3 years ago, we were shy band kids that would cry at the thought of talking to any female in the world. And just 3 years later, we can confidently talk to anybody and get thousands of fans on social media. That is absolutely nuts. So crazy to me, and it still blows my mind to this day that we were able to do that. But like I said, we were only able to do that because we believed that we were able to do that. Do you remember us practicing taking Instagram selfies every single day, and me having to deal with the people that I worked with and lived with, giving me crap all the time about what I was doing, all the mean comments in the hallways, all the people calling us gay even to our faces in the hallways because we were posting on Instagram. I feel like a lot of people didn't understand and didn't support what we were doing, but you and I were strong enough and we had each other to rely on to keep moving forward. And for that, I just want to say a huge thank you, because there's nobody in this entire universe that I think could have done what you and I did at such an early age and get to where we are today. And it's not only about social media. I remember in my junior year, I was failing math, and my dad told me that if I didn't finish the semester with a C in math, that I couldn't go to Europe that summer, that I couldn't hang out with anybody. I was basically going to be grounded the entire summer. So you took the time out of your day, every day, to tutor and help me with math so that I could pass and we could keep making vines throughout the summer. If you didn't do that right there, I don't think we would be sitting right here right now, because I would have been grounded for the summer and it would have been impossible for us to make the vines that we did. Holy crap, quick side note, going to Europe at 16 years old. Whoa, what the heck, world travelers at 16, and fun times that we had there. Just remember all those, holy crap. And then coming back senior year and just working every single day, posting daily on Vine, doing our best to grow our audience so that maybe our message could be sent to everybody one day. I remember you went out to LA with your family as a vacation just to look around and hang out. And when you came back, you were so enthusiastic and excited to tell me that we should say screw college and move out to LA. From that point forward, when we knew that we weren't going to go to college and we got that giant chalkboard in my room, we made vines every single day, we made that money goal, and we just grinded our butts off for an entire year just to move out 5 days after graduating, driving cross country with my blue hair and moving to LA without really knowing anybody or what we were even doing. Dude, that is insane. Collabing with everybody out here, making our own business, meeting Simple Pickup in person and starting a huge business with them. Dude, it's all crazy, and this is just the beginning. This video is getting really long, so I just want to sum up what you have taught me as a person and what I will remember forever. I hope you take this in the most genuine way possible, but you have taught me so much. Like during my summer of sadness sophomore year, when you just told me to look back at life in a positive aspect, and that life was too short to be upset all the time. I just want you to know that I still remember that conversation whenever I'm feeling down. Or the time that you and I walked around downtown and you were explaining to me all the principles that you learned from reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. And all the things you said there stuck with me and really made me enjoy life a lot more and think, why worry about the negative stuff when there's so much to be grateful for? You were the one that opened my eyes to all of that. Like I said, whenever I was in a dark place, and we know that was a lot throughout high school, you were always there for me. You were always there to tell me to keep fighting and to remind me how awesome life was. And because of that, I stayed sane and was able to live happily. So thank you. But along with that, you just taught me not to give a crap what other people think. Even though I was the one that found Simple Pickup, I don't think I would ever have the courage to go out and talk to people if you weren't there. You were the one that would push me and remind me to not give a crap and keep stepping out of my comfort zone, vice versa, and that's why we made such a great duo. I really do think though that the most important thing that you have ever taught me is how to work hard. You and I both know that I was super lazy at times. And it was just a difficult thing for me for some reason to work hard all the time. But with you being so determined with everything and working so hard, with Vine School, getting better with yourself, that all inspired me and taught me how to do that for me as well. So thank you for that. And like I said before, if it wasn't Sam and Colby, it wouldn't be Colby Brock, and it probably wouldn't be Sam Golbach ever. I would have never had the guts to go to the mall and get confidence, would never have the guts to start social media and make videos, and would never have the guts to move out to LA on my own if you weren't there. So I really hope you know that for all these years that I've known you, you've been my backbone, and I don't think I would be here right now without you. And that's why we say Sam and Colby versus the world, because we needed each other to get where we are today, and we destroyed life in almost every way possible. And like you said in your video, not everything has been perfect, not everything's been happy. We have had fights, we have had arguments, it's been a rough journey, but I think you can expect that from anybody, especially somebody who you consider your brother. And right now I know our friendship is at an all-time high, and we're ready to take on whatever life has to throw at us. But yeah, my camera's about to die. I've actually been filming for like 2 hours, so I'm gonna wrap it up by saying thank you for being my friend, and that this is only the beginning. We've accomplished so much in 6 to 7 years that I can't even fathom what we're gonna be able to accomplish in the next 6 or 7 years. So if you're ready for this ride, man, because it's gonna be pretty insane. From the bottom of my heart, I love you so much, man. Thanks for everything you've done for me. I will never, ever forget any of it. Sam and Colby versus the world.